I'm here with Alex Melia, recent graduate of the Life Accelerator. Tell us about you. Where are you from? What do you do?
Yeah, so my name's Alex and I'm from Greater Manchester up north, and I've been part of the London Reel video watching system for probably about 2 years now, and I have a business in Hong Kong, got 2 full-time staff out there. I've been in Hong Kong on and off for 6 years, so I started off as an English teacher out there, originally inspired by, well, ever since I was a kid, it was like Bruce Lee was my idol, and I always wanted to go out to Hong Kong and be part of that whole culture, the things I'd seen from the films. So I was an English teacher at primary school, and then after a while, after a few years, I became, I get bored quite easily anyway, so I need a challenge. And after about 3 years, I started to see more about online tutoring and things like that, and English tutoring online. I thought this is a really good, a good mode of education. And so I had this idea one day. I was brushing my teeth in the bathroom. All the best ideas come to me when I'm in the bathroom for some reason. And I thought this would be amazing to start up an online tutoring business. But now it's morphed into training nurses to pass an English examination to practice nursing in the UK. So we've gone from failure to having some kind of success now. And I think in terms of the whole process of being in business, it takes a lot out of you, as you know yourself. You start to want to readdress some imbalance that you have in your life, and I think this Life Accelerator came around at just about the right time for me.
Okay.
So
what was that challenge we were struggling with in December when you decided, maybe I need some help?
Yeah, well, I think just because from 2013 onwards, I just had consistent struggles and failures in my business. Even though I had mentors and things like that, I was doing making rookie mistakes. And I think after a while, I'd been in Hong Kong for so long that I wanted to come back to the UK. I missed friends and family and whatnot, but I was working on my business 7 days a week, 12, 14 hours a day. I was shut off from reality. I wasn't seeing people. I was losing that human interaction, but I was just so single-minded about getting this business right that I just forgot a lot of things that were going on in my life. So finally we started to get some kind of success when I signed this big order like September time, and it got to like November, December, and I thought I've got to change some things in my life. I've completely sacrificed so much that I'm taking things out of myself. I think because of the failures I had in my business, I thought, okay, that those failures have happened. That's because of me. What's wrong with me? Why me? Victim kind of mode as well. So I wanted to readdress and think I need to start being a normal human being now and have that, have some kind of peace of mind and reintegrate myself back into society and being around people.
Yeah. Why London Reel?
Why London Reel? I've always been a big self-improvement, personal development kind of person, and I watched a lot of Tai Lopez videos and some of the other people. I'm trying to Lewis Howes, all those kinds of influences. And I think the first one might have been the first one I can remember was John Lee, which it doesn't really get often, it doesn't get mentioned so much, but that was a really good interview for me, and I think I started watching others, obviously the obvious ones like Dan Pena and people like that, but that long form of media was something that goes against the grain. People say nowadays, particularly with my business, put out 2 to 5 minute videos, and people don't have the attention spans and whatnot. But I mean, this long form of entertainment for people who can, have some kind of concentration, is a brilliant format. So I really like the idea of different, not just business, not just life improvement. But there's obviously like MMA fighters, there's boxers. I mean, I'm a huge boxing fan. Chris Eubank and Nigel Benn. I mean, what a joy to watch those kinds of interviews. So it's just a real eclectic mix of videos that I really like.
Okay. Now December comes, you get the offer, you look through the course.
Yeah.
You got to decide to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
And invest, and it's an investment. What made you do it?
Yeah, I think so. It was really random because since Gmail have introduced the separating, segmenting different folders, I never check promotions folder. Never do it. I mean, I've always been that person who checks emails too much, and when they introduced that, I thought, I'm not, I'm so glad I'm not going to get this crap anymore. For some reason, I don't know why. fate or whatever you want to call it. I clicked on it one day. It said Brian at London Real, and I'd never kept up to date with any of your previous emails. You know, any of the to do with the London. I did look into the academy quite a while ago, but I'd been involved in other kinds of courses. There was like a Lewis Howes course I did that was great, and there was a couple of other courses I'd done. But yeah, I thought I'm out of the UK, I'm in Hong Kong. I'd want to be in London to make the most value out of it. But yeah, for some reason, it came around at the perfect time that I was actually looking into something that wasn't just business orientated course. It was something to do with me as a person and improving, you know, me and like I said, putting myself back into, you know, society and being around people. So the idea of the health, the fitness, the mindset, the goals was huge as well, because I think I've taken on a lot of information as an information junkie, but never, as you said, pulled the trigger. So I wanted that to be something that, you know, I was really held accountable for.
Okay. First impressions of the course. You know, you get module 1, you're in the Facebook group, your first call. What are you thinking?
Yeah, massive, huge resistance, massive resistance. Just, you know, I remember doing the first couple of videos where I was posting myself online. For myself personally, I've not had a Facebook account for like 8-9 years. Deactivated it. I don't want people to know my business, you know, what I'm up to, what I'm having for breakfast. I'm not into that. So the idea of posting videos of myself online and bearing my soul or whatever, it wasn't for me. I mean, I'm happy teaching in front of 50, 60 people, 100 students, whatever, but putting myself out there as a person, as a human being, I think to a degree I'm a very good actor. So when I'm teaching, it's not Alex the person, it's Alex the teacher. So having Alex the person and showing that vulnerability scared the shit out of me. So, you know, it was very foreign to me. And the calls and you know, I love the energy that you put out there in, you know, in the first video, and to see the kind of like-minded support group of people in there, 55 people, you know, I could see the energy, I could see the light, you know, the spark in people's eyes that, wow, this is going to be a big year, this 2017. So yeah, I think the first module was great in terms of, but it meant that I didn't need to show too much of myself. Module 1, low media diet, gratitude, meditation were great things. So it was easy for me. It was the other modules that I showed more resistance to.
When did you have your big kind of aha moment where you're like, okay, I'm stringing some successes here and I feel like I'm having some success?
Yeah, well, I think it was module 2, and that was the big resistance one for me, because I'd had goals and affirmations and things like that in the past, and it dwindled off. There was no accountability. So after a few weeks, I'd forget I even set goals. So one of the big ones was a financial goal and affirmation, and it's every day I would get out onto the field, take my dogs for walks, shout my affirmations out loud while the dogs are doing their business or whatever. And so I'd say these affirmations, and the financial one I kept saying every morning along with the other 4. But very, very randomly, a couple of weeks ago, the company that probably provides 70% of our revenue gave me a call and said, oh, by the way, Alex, I've got some really good news for you. We're going to double the number of students you've currently got. So we're going to be providing these students for you, and it's going to be starting at the beginning of April. I was like, holy cow, you know, is this fate rearing its beautiful head where, you know, these affirmations are starting to come true? I don't know how to attribute the fact that they've just doubled their order, but it's got to have some kind of impact saying those affirmations each and every day. So that was a big win for me.
That's big. It's, you know, it's not just you though. It's like I saw Lachlan last night and he's like,
Yeah.
Brian, I just did a big deal. And he's like, you know, when I got into the course, I was all fired up. I saw this excitement and I was like, you know what? I think he was going to quit his business. And I think now he's selling his business and like to like a big company.
Yeah.
And he's like, I started firing these emails in and then blah, 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 blah. So, you know, there's, and I haven't heard anyone of telling me this story of like losing their business since they've been on the course. So I don't know what it is about those, but I think it just gets you in the position to be able to receive all of this energy that's trying to come your way. So it doesn't surprise me when you say that.
No, I think there's quite a few people who've got businesses on this course as well. So you get into conversations with different people, even this weekend, about their businesses, and you know, I mean, that's my one saving grace, apart from, you know, other kind of mistakes I've made and whatnot in the past, I never give up. Anything I do, I serve it out to the bitter end, even if it, makes me sacrifice certain things, or I feel unhappy about certain things. I never give up on anything. I think that's been my one thing that has served me really well.
Yeah.
So.
What'd you struggle with on this course?
Relationships. Yeah, I mean, it's the common one. I'm sure most people say that. Being from the north of England, or being from the northwest or whatever, it's the same with any kind of, any men from any kind of, it's that whole macho attitude of, to show vulnerability is a weakness. And now I'm just, I remember on the first call you said you've got to, if you want to get some value out of this, and I'm all about, if you spend, the money that we've spent on this course, I want to be getting 5-10x on anything I do. Especially, I think if I'm paying for something, I want to get some massive value out of it. So, so having that in the forefront has been really important.
Okay, so you went after that relationship module.
Yeah. I think the purging, I'd done a lot of that previously, but for me to actually assess those relationships and like we said about the vulnerability, is to ring friends up and tell them how much I love them. And I was like putting off for 2-3 days. The guy who actually came with me yesterday, he was the guy that I spoke to on the phone. I said, I know, because he lives in London, I'm in Manchester, I couldn't say it face to face. I said, I know right now that you've got your left fist clenched in a real, like, I'm cringing out, and he burst out laughing basically. But he was blown away by it, and I felt it's kind of huge release, because I think especially with guys, when they're drunk and they'll say, oh, I love you, mate, and we're the best of friends, but would you ever say those kinds of things sober? Maybe not. So and actually go into reasons why you love that friend, or you love that family member, is really big. I think the release of telling those things as well gives you that mental peace of, that mental clarity, that peace of mind. Even some of the things that have happened to me in the past, even like, I think this course, for example, literally a week before we started this course, I'd been away from my family for a while. And I sat down with them in the living room and told them lots of things that they never knew about me. And I just felt this, now they know these things, and I'm not this successful business guy that they'll look at. I've got frailties, I've got vulnerabilities, so it's been really important for me. Even my another relationship I've got, a family member, I felt there was a drift. We were drifting apart, similar you said about your daughter. I say it's my little brother, he's 14, and we've been close since he was a child, so I feel like I'm his father, even though I'm just his older brother. I felt like we were drifting apart a bit, just because he's going through that development, and he's all about his friends and whatnot. So I had a conversation with him in the car after I'd taken him to his football match, and I was like saying, I'm always here for you, and we should do lots of things together. So give me a list of things you want to do with me, and we'll do it. So that was really good too.
Very nice, very nice. What's the big one lesson you've taken away from this accelerator that maybe someone watching or listening could learn from and maybe incorporate into their own life?
Yeah, pulling the trigger. Pulling the trigger is huge. Taking action. The low media thing of, like when you start to assess how much you're actually consuming on a daily basis, WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube, YouTube's clever the way once you've watched one video that you deliberately wanted to watch, and then it goes on to the next one. Yeah. It's very clever, the system, but the low media thing of keeping that to a minimum and actually doing things where you take action. I think that's huge. The biggest part of this course is the accountability. So if anyone who's watching, don't be that person who watches hundreds of hours of YouTube, the London Real YouTube videos. Actually take action and do something about it, because the value that you get, and I always think, if you pay for something, what is the value at the end of it? And I think from all these video interviews, every single person on this course, from speaking to them this weekend, has taken huge amounts of value from this. So don't be that person who looks at the price tag and the price tag and think, oh, it's a rip-off. Think about what are you going to be getting from this course. And every time I didn't want to do some of the modules and stuff, I'd think, I've paid this money, get this done, Alex, and see it out to the end, even if it causes you pain, because there has been some pain on this course, and I start to think, oh, I'm being left behind. I'm seeing other people on the dreaded accountability doc. You're seeing red spaces next to your name, and you're seeing someone else is like green the whole way, and you're like, shit, keep on track and keep getting it done.
Yeah. New Year's Eve, I think we're going to have a call with everybody, and everyone's talking about who they want to be on that date. Who is Alex going to be?
Yeah, I think Alex is someone who, based on my affirmations right now, public speaking's huge for me this year, and I've done like 4 this year, and I've got a target of 10 to do by the end of March. I'm going to be 30 years old at the end of March, so I want to be someone who is someone who's memorable when they're speaking. People don't forget my speeches. I stand tall, proud and confident. That is the forms the basis of my affirmations. Someone who feels he deserves the success that I'm getting in my business. I still feel like I don't deserve it, even though I've put in the graft, the fear of success. I want to be that person, but I'm going to be that person by December who, he appreciates everything he's got. I feel, a deep sense of gratitude for everything, but I feel like I deserve everything I've got and give back. I'm going to be giving back to people more and more. And on the side of this as well, I'm going to be starting to mentor young entrepreneurs. I even met a guy last night. You remember the 19-year-old who'd quit his university course literally yesterday. Those kinds of people I want to help to the next level, because if university is not for you, then get out of it. And if you want to start a business, those are the kinds of people that I want to be helping. So by December, I want to be mentoring at least 5 people, on that journey, and make sure they don't follow the same mistakes that I made.
Good. If we walked out on the street and bumped into the Alex that didn't take this course, what's that guy like when we're talking to him, when we meet him? What's he like?
Yeah, he, not sure of himself, has anxiety. He's cooked away in his business. He's not seeing people as much as he should do. He's low on confidence. He's procrastinating on things. He's not getting things done. It's quite a long list there.
It is. It's quite a transformation. To someone watching us right now who's kind of on the fence, they're like, I don't know, but it's a big investment. I don't know if this course is for me. What do you tell them?
I say to them don't be that person who a few years later is like, damn, I should have done that. Especially when you're seeing these kinds of videos, because say for example the course came up in January 2017, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Oh, I'm seeing those emails. I've been on those webinars. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. And then the worst thing is, a year later, you go on YouTube and you see ABC person has done a testimonial from the course you should have done. That's probably the worst thing. Is like that person, you could have been that person, but you've seen someone else live it, and you're like, well, that wasn't me.
Yeah, they say what? Hell is meeting the person.
Exactly,
you could have been, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had this guy in the gym who stopped me like a year ago, and he was like, oh, Business Accelerator. I was like, yeah, we got a class coming up. And he's like, oh yeah, I don't think I can afford it, but I'm working on my business. And I see him now, like a year later, and it's just like, how's that business? He's like, I never went anywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, all right, it's cool, man. Might not be for you, but again, like you said, when you invest in something, you make sure you get it done. So that's why we love people in this course, because when you invest, I know you're going to meet me halfway. And that's a big reason.
I think it's so people when they're looking at something, you think about time and you think about money. Okay, and too many people are watching these kinds of things and these high investment kinds of courses, and they're all about the money. Oh, I don't want to waste this money. This is a scam. That's a scam. They might read one bad review about a course and think, oh, I'm not going to do this. But one of my idols, Richard Ashcroft, is a musician from the Verve, whatever. He says, time is everything. Time is everything. You do not get that back. And I don't want to, get to 40 years old and think, well, I had all this. I've got all this money in the bank. Wow, great! I actually noticed from my starting my business to now, I'm not necessarily any happier. I'm not like gone from this transformation of what really sad person to wow, I'm immensely happy, and I'm still in the process. And it'd be full for someone to watch this and think at the end of 6 weeks you're going to be this 100%. There's a couple of people maybe, but I'm not 100%. The person I want to be right now. It's still a journey. That's why, as part of the course, you say December 2017 is the time when you can see big transformation. In 6 weeks, you can see a big change, and I've experienced a big change, but I'm not 100% where I want to be. So yeah, time is everything. You don't get that back. You can lose money along the way, but you can make money back. So that's what would be my message to people. Time, you don't get that back.
Yeah, I like Richard Ashcroft. That's good, man. Alex, thanks so much for being on this course.
Pleasure.
Energy is enthusiastic. You were great last night to be there. And I look forward to seeing everything you accomplish this year. And New Year's is going to be awesome.
And thank you very much to you and your team as well. You know, last thing I would say is, you know, it's not a case of you're taking the money from people and then, right, see you later. You're constantly adding value in your team, constantly adding value. Anytime I had a question, sent you an email, you immediate reply. So it's definitely, you know, your hand is held throughout the whole thing. And I've been on courses before where they take your money, see you later, bye-bye. But it's not really like this with this course.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Good luck.